I've got a new website and I tweeted about it yesterday. And luckily I got a tweet back, a reply back from someone who asked and who looked on my website and said, have you ever spoken or written or blogged about becoming or how you became a technical evangelist? No, I haven't. I had casual conversations with people, but I haven't explained it yet. And today I will, in vlog number 4. One of the more particular things about being a technical evangelist is having that title on your business card, in the footer of your email, on your slide deck. And explaining that is definitely a conversation starter, that's a good thing. But a lot of people are weary. How did I become an evangelist and what is my day-to-day? Let's dive in. But in order to do that, we have to go back down memory lane, have to go way back to my childhood. I'm a Dutch-speaking Belgian. That means you'll get into contact with foreign languages. I studied French when I was 9, started studying English when I was 14, and when I was 16, I guess, I started studying German. But as a kid, when you watch TV, all the programs are in English. So I quickly picked up English, and I figured out that languages are a passion of mine. I have a sensitive ear for accents and the culture that surrounds certain languages. So I was definitely in high school, linguistic studies. But in 1997, I got my first computer, it was connected to the internet, and the world changed dramatically for me. I wanted to pursue a career in IT, but my counselors in school told me, hey, this is not really your thing, you suck at maths, which is true. Why not pursue a linguistic career? I was a bit hard-headed and started a bachelor's degree, and I got that bachelor's degree in applied computer sciences. I graduated in 2004, but prior to graduating, I went to Finland on an Erasmus exchange, and I did an internship in a university and made a small project there. That's where I realized that the world was bigger than small town Dixmude, where I currently live. At a given night, I figured I needed to think about my next move in life, because I was about to graduate, so it would either be continue my studies and get a master's degree, which would be quite hard for me since I suck at maths, or I'd just find a job and enter the workforce. I went for the latter and looked at a job opening at Combel, a hosting company that I knew because I was a client and because I knew a buddy who started there doing a summer job there. So I applied for a job as a support engineer. I sat down with them and they said, look, we like your profile specifically because of 2 languages that you speak. French and PHP, ironically. So I started in September of 2004 as a junior support engineer, an entry-level position. I climbed my way up the ladder, quickly applying my linguistic skills and my PHP skills. We had a diverse set of clientele, and it was post.com bubble. It was the end of the bare metal era. Virtualization was already there, and the cloud era came knocking on the door. That meant that infrastructure was a commodity, not that sexy, and we were aiming higher up the stack. Solving development issues was more of a way we could service our clients. And in a lot of cases, it was hard to figure out, is it a server problem or a code problem? And that's where development skills come in handy. We started to specialize in that, did reports, analyze websites, optimize for performance, facilitate deployments, all that kind of stuff, figuring out ways to secure a website better, and also analyzing bug reports and errors, and figuring out, is this something the client needs to fix? Is this something we need to fix? And if the client needs to fix it, how can we explain it in a comprehensible way? That was the challenge. And those were one-to-one challenges. That was an email, a phone call, an in-person meeting. That was my job. And in 2007, I got to be the manager of that department. I had a really good staff, and I continued exploring the development route. And my very first conference was in 2007. I went to Frankfurt to the International PHP Conference. That's where I knew I wanted to become a speaker. That was an event that changed everything for me. I went to more conferences, and I was fortunate enough to have really good colleagues, a good staff, a good crew who were ambitious themselves and also very capable to run the show while I was away. But eventually I figured that one-to-one communication thing wasn't really the most efficient way of doing it. Why not broadcast your message? Why not figure out something cool you could do and use another medium to convey the message. That's when I slowly started figuring out maybe I should leave the support department and do a different kind of job. And management agreed, because there were opportunities in the squad, people were ambitious and more than capable, and the decision was made. I slowly transitioned away from the support department. We selected a successor, we communicated, and I sat down with management to figure out my next move. First things first, what is this job going to entail? Well, there will probably be a lot of development technology and things that map the stack that we have, from infrastructure level all the way up to the codes and web servers and database components in between. Talking about things we already master, technology that is quite common, where we want to improve the skills of our clients, our potential clients, communities, so on and so forth. But also look at more ambitious technology that was new, hot and upcoming. And that's exactly what evangelism is all about. I myself was more inclined to call myself a community manager, but management said, hey Thijs, you should totally go for evangelism. I've reached the point where I've done more than 170 presentations, so 170 presentations in 14 different countries. So it has gone well for me. I spoke initially at really small events where there were 50, maybe 100 people, but now I've reached the point where I could fill a big hall with 1,000 people and do a good job there. I go to meetups to speak. I go to big conferences to speak. I revamped my blog, which was a big deal. I got involved with the PHP Benelux community, which was like low-hanging fruit. We had a very vibrant PHP community with a couple of people I got to know, and we organized lots of meetups for them. We gave them our conference space in the office, and I slowly became friends with the people involved. And all of a sudden I joined and I started organizing conferences, and my reach became even bigger. But PHP Benelux was a brand that resonated. So that got me into certain places that I would never get otherwise, and got me very specific speaking assignments. Then the following thing happened. I discovered Varnish at a PHP Benelux meetup. It didn't seem like that big of a deal, it's yet another piece of technology, but it proved to be quite useful for us, especially in a hosted environment. Varnish is a technology that speeds up websites, and that's exactly what you need when you deal with other people's code that might not be as well performing as it should be. I started to examine the technology, and at a given point in time I felt comfortable enough to speak about it. I got to speak all over the world, all over Europe, United States, Canada. I was invited to speak about Varnish. And I ended up on the radar of the people at Varnish Software, the commercial entity behind the open source project. And all of a sudden I got an email, hey Thijs, we'd like to invite you to speak at our summits. And I spoke at 3 different summits, and I became friendly with the marketing people, with the technical people, even with their evangelists. And last year I got an email asking me, hey, we're figuring out that we want to write a book. It's going to be published through O'Reilly, but we want an external writer. Would you be so kind to write that book? And it took me some time to figure it out, but eventually I did. I decided to write that book, and now I can call myself a published author. I'm really picking up video as well. That was a big deal for me. I started watching vlogs on YouTube and said, hey, couldn't I do that to convey my own message instead of just talking at conferences, writing blog posts? So I started seeing what video could do for me, and it turned out to be quite successful. Just to make sure, I'm not a big shot right now. I'm progressing and my profile is getting bigger and bigger, but I'm not a hotshot speaker, nor am I a hotshot evangelist. I'm just a guy who likes technology and takes advantage of opportunities and tries to make sure that the company benefits from it. And benefits definitely happen for our clients. By being all over the place and doing lots of talks, I got a sense of credibility with a lot of the technical decision makers at certain companies, at certain agencies. And some big contracts landed because I managed to open the door. People said, hey, Combel, or other brands that we have like Sentia, I've seen that guy of yours speak. Might be interested in listening. And once the door was open, we sent in our salespeople, we sent in our solution architects, and a lot of big deals got done. And then truly the value of evangelizing was clear and was apparent. And management said, okay, we made the right decisions, and they supported me all along. Is it measurable? Sometimes it is. In a lot of cases it is not. But in the long run, things even out. And that's the story. That's how I became a technical evangelist. And that's what I do on a day-to-day basis. I'll continue to speak. Come check me out at my next talks. And if you want to, you can definitely invite me to speak at your event. Thank you for checking it out. Thank you for following along. Vlog number 4. See you next time.